Hardev Singh Boparai,
this
is an important counter that
Yeah.
in each instance where the ED has gone in, look at the kind of evidence that has been recovered, the mountain of cash recovered from the likes of Arpita Mukherjee. You can't take away from the fact, and while the probe is still ongoing and we await a judicial verdict, that just 21 crores lying around in cash seems terribly wrong. And so what if she's associated and member of the Trinamool Congress and they seem to have joined flats? Does that not need to be probed? And Nalin's point that if somebody has a case or a complaint as a private citizen, you can file the complaint if you think that the agencies aren't doing their job. What's stopping you or anybody in the Congress from doing that?
Kamal Saab, with utmost deference, it is hardly a retort or a counter. It is nobody's case that money laundering should not be investigated. Let me be very clear. It is nobody's case. Neither mine, nor Mr. Kohli, nor Mr. Kirnel Singh's case. The problem is with malicious and differential application of law. Now, since Mr. Kirnel Singh was kind enough to give an example, let me give a counter example. There were ED notices sent to 17 MLAs from the Shiv Sena who owed their allegiance to the Shinde faction. Now that Ghar Wapsi of sorts has happened, and now that they've joined hands with the BJP, will the ED follow through on those 17 ED investigations or 17 notices? Will the ED
that's the problem, Nalin Kohli. The fact that 17 MLAs get a notice, they are in the Shiv Sena now, and this is the Shinde Sena, and they're on your side, then suddenly the government agencies seem to go slow. Take, for example, what happened in the case of Suvendu Adhikari. That's a CBI case, but while he was being probed in the Narda case, others like Madan Mitra are in jail. Suvendu Adhikari is levelling charges against Mamata Banerjee, accusing her of corruption, whereas he has charges against him which were being probed when he was in the Trinamool, and suddenly nothing seems to be happening now that he's in the BJP and he's your star campaigner and your chief in West Bengal, Nalin Kohli.
So ask the ED. I'm not the spokesperson and I'm neither running the ED, but I can certainly as a lawyer make an intelligent guess. It's not very complicated. That in any investigation, it's not going to run on the basis of whether what somebody else wants. It will run on the basis of evidence. There are many cases in which there will be a
charge
prima facie
against
case,
people like
but as you
Madan
go
Mitra and
deeper into
Suvendu
the investigation,
Adhikari,
there is an
one
answer.
person ends up in jail, the other isn't even questioned, and it's the same charge. I have no idea that the charge is true or not, but I know that it's the same charge, and one got acted against and the other didn't. One is in the BJP, the other isn't.
Yeah, so that is also a happy coincidence. So good thing that the person who's corrupt didn't join the BJP. That's your straightforward answer. We are very happy about that. So the man who probably obviously was the kingpin or was acting on it has gone on the other side. So as simple as that. So just because the corrupt person is in jail means that the BJP is at fault. That would be an ingenuous argument.
Can Nalin and the BJP get away by calling this a happy coincidence?
Why should I not call it a happy coincidence? Why shouldn't I call it a happy coincidence? I'll give you a counter argument. I'll give you a counter argument.
Sanjay Hegde, please. Sanjay, if everyone speaks together, this is then democracy. 1 second, I can't have everyone speaking together. Nalin Kohli, you've just spoken, you made a point. Let Sanjay Hegde respond. I'll come back to you for a counter. Sanjay.
No, 1 minute, let me finish my other point.
Yes.
And I'll give you another example so that it's clear. Over the last 3 days, people are saying Dr. Hemanto Biswa Sarma, the BJP used to attack him. It used to raise questions about his one scam. And the BJP, the minute he joined, it's over. Why don't people go and do their homework? He got exonerated by a court taking on the BJP. When he is exonerated, comes to the party separately, then people don't do their homework and start making an allegation. That's why I use the words very carefully. People should do their homework before they start making wild allegations.
Okay, Sanjay Hegde.
Well, my response would be that classic James Bond line. The first time can be happenstance. The second time can be coincidence. The third time is definitely enemy action. You have seen the ED in place after place continually taking its targets. I am not concerned. Please get every politician, and the next time the other lot comes in, they'll go after the other set, and it will make a lot of work for lawyers. I'm very happy with that. What I am, however, concerned is with the ordinary citizen who, it was not a BJP politician or a Congress politician who went to the challenge the constitutionality before the Supreme Court. These were ordinary citizens who had explanations, and who had doubts about the law and the constitutionality of the manner that it was being operated, who went to the court, and and all those avenues have been shut down today by the court. What I really fear is not these showpiece investigations. That both sides are powerful enough, they will shout on television studios, they will fight in the streets. I'm speaking of, like I gave you that example, forget the TMC people. If somebody had bought a property from one of them, unknowingly, somebody who's taken a bank loan, but yet that property could be considered the fruits of crime, that would also be stuck in the investigation. There would be an attachment, and there would not really be any effective legal recourse. So what will that lead to? That will lead to not only that the top men in the ED have a field day when it comes to politicians, but people lower down.